Montessori and Reggio Emilia are two approaches to early childhood education that emphasize child-centered learning environments. Often, my teaching students struggle to determine the difference between the two, so in this video, we'll explore the differences to clarify our understanding of two of the foundational educational philosophies for early childhood education. We can explore the theoretical differences between these two by looking at four factors in each approach. These include their views on how children learn, the role of the teacher, the role of the community, and how to set up the classroom environment. Let's start with how children learn. In the Montessori approach, children learn through self-directed activity, hands-on learning, and collaborative child-led play. In the Reggio Emilia approach, children also learn through play and exploration. So both models have a strong focus on active discovery learning. But an important difference is that the Montessori approach traditionally has a strong focus on letting children be lone scientists. This is a term by Piaget that refers to children learning and discovering on their own, but is also a concept that's central to the Montessori model. The Reggio Emilia approach, on the other hand, thinks teacher-student interaction is essential for child development. Here, we can see that Montessori is more of a pure Piaget-style constructivist, whereas the Reggio Emilia model is closer to Vygotsky's social learning model. As a side note, this difference between Piaget and Vygotsky is a central point of contention among early childhood education theorists, and there's video in the card up above right now where I go over that difference. Okay, so we can also see this conflict in philosophies again in our second approach, which is the role of the teacher. So in the Montessori approach, teachers set up the environment, but during the learning scenario itself, they're more involved in observing rather than directing learning. So they'll only intervene when necessary. We can contrast this to the Reggio Emilia model, where the teachers are seen as co-learners and collaborators working alongside children and often learning together with them. So expect much more teacher-student interaction in a pure Reggio Emilia classroom than a pure Montessori classroom. Next, we have the role of the community, which is heavily emphasized in the Reggio Emilia approach, but not so much in the Montessori approach. This isn't to say that parents aren't welcome in modern Montessori classrooms, because they are, but rather that the Reggio Emilia model has much more explicit emphasis on the importance of integrating the community into the classroom. So expect teachers to be inviting experts into the classroom and having a lot of parent-student interaction to live out the original vision of the Reggio Emilia approach, which was to connect schools to the community as much as possible. When it comes to the classroom environments, we flip to a much stronger focus from Montessori on a heavily planned out and prepared environment where there are ample educational toys at hand. The environment is made with children in mind, so we might expect all the objects to be within reach of the children, for example, and there's an overall emphasis on children interacting with the objects around them and the environment around them rather than with their teachers. This focus on the makeup of the classroom environment is less evident in a Reggio Emilia classroom, although you will find when you walk into a Reggio Emilia classroom, they will have a strong focus on displaying students' works on the walls. Okay, so while these are the key theoretical differences, remember teachers tend to pick positive aspects of each of these models in their classrooms and blend them to come up with their own teaching philosophies. And even if you walked into a Montessori or Reggio Emilia classroom today, you will notice blends of the positives of both of these models. If you want to delve deeper, I recommend this video here that outlines 5 key features of the Montessori model, or the blog post that's pinned in the pinned comment.